Yo, what is good, YouTube? What's going on? So today, well, to begin the long story that is going to end very shortly, we blew a fuel line in the LEZ Duramax, but that opened up a little, I guess you could say, a can of worms, right? To the point where I ended up being like, you know, fuel lines are expensive, a couple $100 at least, for the good ones at least, like steel braided and all that. So I was like, you know, there's something that I haven't done to this truck that I like really need to get done. So I bit the bullet, spent a little over $1,000, so that's fun. But at least I went all out and got the things that I absolutely needed. And what would that be? And there she is, Fass fuel system for the LEZ Duramax. Now this is I'm pretty sure it's 110 gallon per minute system, so that's going to support from stock all the way to 650 horsepower, I believe the numbers were. So I don't plan on being over 650 horsepower anytime soon for this thing, because that's going to require an $8,000 built tranny that I'm not really going to be buying that in the near future at all, unless the tranny just shits the bed and I find a built tranny or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. Long story short, we got the Fass fuel system and it is ready to go on. We got the sump pump kit, we got the fuel filter delete. Apparently there's a better delete than this that I didn't get, but you know, it's fine. I spent almost $100 alone on this actually, which is insane. I'm gonna unbox this first and just, you know, get a feel for the overall quality before I open up this, because I am so insanely excited for this. Not only that, but we're gonna have the Fass filters just poking out the bottom of the truck, and I think that look is absolutely insane. It definitely looks super sick when you see some Fass filters or an air dog kit or anything of that sort just sticking out the bottom of your truck. You know, it's pretty dope. Plus it'll also support our tunes in the future, so you know, supporting mods, man, you gotta do them, I'm gonna unbox this and see how it looks. 2 pounds, wow, 2 pounds. I'm not gonna lie, this thing is like extremely heavy for what it is. It's just a cup that, you know, bolts up. So I'm gonna be pretty much running this until I end up completely deleting the entire OEM fuel filter spot. It's gonna be, this is just gonna be there for now, and I think it looks pretty good. So it'll dress up the engine bay a little bit, and then, yeah. I don't know what this open hole is down here for. I have no idea what that's gonna do, but you know, we're gonna figure it out because we got it, right? I'm probably gonna install that last, but now we get to unbox the real gift we got here, you know? And of course it's a little late. It's starting to get dark out already. It's already 6 o'clock. So thank you UPS for being extremely late, but it's fine, it's fine. It's not a big deal. So this is all the important stuff right here. We got our fuel lines, so they're in blue. These do crack over time though, so once I have to replace these, I'll probably be getting, well, that's like kind of sticky feeling. That's kind of weird. But clearly Fass makes them themselves. It says Fass on the lines here. This is our sump pump. So this is the piece that goes on the bottom of our fuel tank. Just a quick notice here. You guys probably won't be able to see it, but there is a decent amount of metal shavings in there. Which is not good to go into your injectors at all. So I'm gonna make sure I clean that out, and if you guys are ever buying anything, just make sure you look at that, because that's really not good, like at all. So that's gonna sit on the bottom of our fuel tank like that. We're gonna have our our take up and our return right here, and we got our wiring harness, which is good. Now you can wire this. It just plugs straight into the Fass system and then goes up to your fuse box, then plugs in, and then it goes right to your ignition like it's supposed to. But I'm gonna wire mine to a switch because personally, I think it's much nicer to have it on a switch so that you know it's on. Yeah, so we got 500 fittings and lines and just things. You know what? That's a little intimidating, I'm not gonna lie. Looking at that, that is super intimidating, but ta-da, Fass fuel system, baby. Here is our Fass lift pump right there, and then we got our brackets. So yep, not too bad out of the box, but I'm gonna start looking at some instructions here and get with you guys once I know something. All right, so first thing that our manual is having us do would be to check and make sure it's here that we need and everything that we have checks out. So next it says to install the wiring harness, but I'm gonna wait on that because that's, I mean, it says step 1, but it's really not that important. There's no reason that I need to put the wires in first. So the way I'm gonna wire it is completely different than what it says to do. Do that with your own risk. If you're actually following this video, I'm doing it to a switch. You don't have to, because the instructions have a plug and play that go right to the fuse box. It just works flawlessly. but I'm complicated and I want mine to a switch because I think it's cool. So we got everything, and the next thing we're going to be doing is putting all our fittings on our pump itself. So make sure to follow those instructions. So I'm going to dress our pump up, and then I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when we're done with that. All right, so continue on one of the steps. Just reading the manual, doing what I got to do. I'm going to install the bracket onto my bed, or my bed rail, and this is what my bed bolt looks like. It's absolutely roached right here, and then once you're adding that spacer on, like down here was fine, but adding that spacer, all these is what matters, and they are absolutely gone. So, but other than that, our Fass system looks amazing. I still have a little bit to do, and I found out that putting the wiring harness in first is a big deal, and we do have to do that. So that's super cool, but no worries. We're gonna figure it out. So I'm gonna have to find this bolt, and then if I can't find anything like right now, I'm gonna have to continue tomorrow. So that's fun. All right, I don't know the chances of this, but I literally found a Chevy bed bolt, or you know what, it definitely wasn't a Chevy bed bolt, but it was a bolt that was the exact same size and the thread pitch was slightly off, or the threads in the bed are just cooked. But regardless, I put the bolt in and it worked. You know, it's strong as an ox under there now. So we had to put this bracket in here, and that was that bolt there. So if you guys need to do that, it's just the first fuel tank side bed bolt. And yeah, mine came out pretty decent, but that's probably because the threads were missing, and that one went in super hard. But you know what, I got it done tonight, and that's what I wanted. So now I just gotta finish the rest of this, getting it ready and all that. Yeah, there's a lot I gotta do still. Still gotta run the wiring harness. I gotta mount this to that bracket, and then I gotta figure out all the fuel line fittings, and then yeah, I mean, other than that, it's just kind of putting the sump kit in, and then honestly just moving from there. So yeah, you know, I think I was supposed to put this rubber piece in there, but I am scared to take that bed bolt out, so I'm not gonna do that. But I will make sure that I put this little sealer in there, that's for sure, because I'm not gonna mess with that at all. That would suck. All right, it's getting insanely dark out, as you guys can tell. This is only a few minutes after recording that last little bit that you guys seen, but just want to go over the pump. The pump is all set to go. I got everything pointed in the right direction. This is the pickup, so it's going to go from the sump to the pickup, so everything's pointed in the correct direction, ready for us to install tomorrow. So just gonna put a few rags and everything, like oh, it's oil. I'm gonna put rags in like the little dots, so because you don't want to get anything in this. It's an electric pump. Any amount of debris is going to be so bad for it. So I'm going to put a few rags in it, and we're going to pick it up tomorrow, because yeah, it's too dark. Not only do I hate filming in the dark, I also don't want to work all night. I just want to go enjoy my night. And then I don't know how tomorrow's going to play out, so I'm thinking I'm going to have a little bit of time. So we're just going to bang it out tomorrow. It's going to be good to go. And yeah, we should be rocking tomorrow. It's going to be sick. And here's kind of how we're looking. We got the thing mounted up to our bed rail, which is where the bracket's going to go, and then it comes down. Honestly, this is as far down as you can make it. You can make it go up or down. I kind of wish it came down a little more, because it does not poke out enough for me, but she's in there. It's as solid as it's going to get. That thing's going nowhere. So our bolt ended up working, our brackets are all in, and this is good to go. But I'm going to say it's time to run the electrical now, because I need to get that out of the way, because there's a few steps that require us starting the pump on before the actual installation. So all right, we've made a good amount of progress. My head is absolutely killing me right now, but that's besides the point. The only thing we have left is the sump pump itself, and then running the fuel line. So we ran the electrical harness, and I ended up going to a switch because race truck, like I was saying. So obviously power's on, pump's running. So pretty much I just have on the bottom of a 3-prong switch, it's the external power, so just power coming from somewhere else. The power off the wiring harness, which would normally go to the fuse box, but I put it to the middle of the switch, and then a ground, so that just goes to the engine bay. Right here is my ground for the switch, and then I did the ground here for the negative on the, or the ground on the wiring harness, and then the positive I did to the alternator box, like I do with most other things. So that's pretty much the entire wiring harness. It was pretty straightforward. Tuck the relay down in there. The fuse is just chilling here. I don't really know what to do with it. It's in an awkward spot, whatever. the Fass pump itself is working. Now I just have to worry about my fuel lines, which is going to be absolute hell. I also have to drain my entire 68% in my fuel tank onto something, because it's full. So we got our first hole drilled. It's just the pilot hole for the hole saw, but it's also going to be draining all of our fuel out. So hopefully we have enough canisters. This is going to be thrown away if it has to go into the 5-gallon bucket because it's filthy, but if it can make it into all the diesel canisters, we'll be good. All right, still into the truck. So another update. I completely forgot to record a whole bunch of this, but we got the sump pump in. Those are all torqued down, 18 foot-pounds I believe they said. I just got to clean all this up and hope that nothing's leaking, because if that's leaking, I'm gonna lose my mind. But anyways, we got the lift pump fitted with all of our fittings. I gotta go through and tighten these actually, so can't forget that. But we're almost ready to start running our fuel lines, and after that we're gonna do the OEM fuel filter delete, and then we should be good to go. But here's how we're looking. All right, boys, so pretty much in terms of the actual Fass system itself, we are done. So let me show you guys how I routed everything. We have to disconnect, okay, you guys can't see that, but your OEM fuel line, it's all in the instructions, so I'm sorry if I'm skipping over some of the stuff, but you guys will, it's pretty self-explanatory. If I can do this stuff, you guys can 100% do it, so don't be scared to do it or anything. Don't be hiring no shops to do it, because they're gonna pay you out or charge you out the butt for it. So your OEM fuel line, you just use a quick disconnect, that comes with all the stuff that you need to connect it, and then the main line feeds up to this top one. And then the return is this one, right underneath it, goes into the return side of the sump pump, and then that part, that is the part that it sucks from, goes right into the elbow here. So that's all it is for fuel lines, and then it connects to your OEM stuff. Honestly, it wasn't too bad. It took me about a whole like 8-hour shift to do it, if I tally in all my actual time doing it. So the tools you're going to need are, some of them are pretty advanced, like you need fuel line cutters if you want to do it the right way, and then you need like the gas line quick disconnects. You're gonna have to do that. But now this is what we're looking at. We got to do our fuel filter delete, which is in the front of the truck. So we're gonna have to take our fuel filter out and start going on that. So that is right here. I have a Wix filter on there, which is not good. Not a fan of Wix filters personally, so I guess I'm gonna take my fuel lines off of that and take this thing out actually. So I'll get with you guys as soon as that's out and tell you guys how I got it out. All right, so we got the fuel filter out, obviously right underneath our thing. Sorry it's dark again, of course. Yeah, this is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, but we got to take it off of our OEM fuel filter housing. I forget what you call it. I didn't end up taking any of the fuel hoses off. I'm just gonna take the 2 bolts out that hold it in, flip it around, and take the check ball out and the spring, and then we should be rocking. We also have to transfer this thing on the bottom of the filter over to this right here, which is our delete. So I'll show you guys what that looks like in a second. And this is what we're gonna look like once we are back together. This is our delete. And now what we have to do also, I don't really understand what that even does down there, but they make sure that you put this thing back in there for who knows why. Not sure. But now we have to do a very important task. All right, it's gonna be super hard to show, but pretty much you have 2, when you flip your fuel bowl thing over, you have 2 T20s in there, and we have to take this black piece out, and then I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like in there, because we have to take a check ball and a spring out. All right, so this is what it looks like once you pull that little black piece out that you guys seen earlier. This is a fuel heater. Now there's 1 O-ring in here. I did not see a second O-ring. I'm hoping that there wasn't one, because on the instructions it says don't lose both O-rings, and I only see 1. So but nonetheless, there's an O-ring there, and we're gonna reinstall this and hope everything goes well. All right, people, and now we have our filter delete ready to go back in. Oh, hold on, you guys got some light. So put everything back together. I got to put some clamps on the fuel lines because I broke them off on purpose because they're just garbage, so I'd rather have hose clamps on there so Gonna have to put some of those on in a second, but once we do that, we're gonna be good to go. So we're gonna get this fuel filter delete on, and then it's time to prime the system and start it up. And then once we're done with that, I think I'm gonna continue the video tomorrow because it's already dark again. So I hate shooting in dark time. I'm just gonna get everything together, make sure the truck runs, and then once the truck runs, we should be good to go. So that's cool. And just like that, we got our fuel filter delete in. Now it's time to figure out how to prime this system, and then we get to start her up. So I'm excited. We are officially done with the actual work. Now it's time to clean up and make sure the truck runs. That's the scary part. So I'm gonna have to look up how to prime this thing and get her going. All right, ladies and gents, it is now officially the 4th day I've been working on this thing, because the 3rd day I went to go start it and it started fine, but the pump wasn't even running, I guess. And that's because I thought it was a relay issue. So in the stock wiring harness that they, or the wiring harness that they give you, it comes with a fuse and a relay. So fuse is down here, relay's over here, and I have it wired to my alternator battery output and then grounded off to the same thing. So for the longest time, the relay kept going on and off, like it was like tick, 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 like relays do. If you guys have ever experienced a bad relay or a funky connection on a relay, that's what they sound like. So for the longest time, I've been diagnosing this thing since yesterday all the way up to today, and then I kept messing with it. I was like, dude, it was driving me crazy. Completely undid this wiring harness, put all the wires together to see if that was it. Nope, not it. And then I see my ground wire sparking down there, and I realized it was a bad ground. So that's super sick. Been driving around with no fast fuel pump, but turn it on. Can very obviously hear it going. And also, if you guys don't know, I've had a starting issue with this thing. It always cranked for about like 4 seconds before it started, all the way up to like 8 seconds. Like one time it was really bad. So but now, after I did all the fuel lines and then the Fass system, this thing starts up like a dream, like the first day I bought it. And I could not be more happy, especially now that the Fass system is completely working again. So there she is, folks. She also looks absolutely amazing. I wish the filters poked down a little more, but it's not a big deal. You can still see them, and then when I get the filter change or when I do my maintenance on this thing, we're just gonna buy the bigger filters, so not a big deal. But they will be poking at some point. And with the time that it has been working, I've been getting 17.2 to the gallon. Now that it's gonna be working 24/7, I'm gonna pick this video up later on after I do a big trip, which I'm gonna go do right now. Not a huge trip, but like probably around 30 miles. So it'll be definitely a good test for the fast fuel system and to see what the real miles per gallon will actually come out to be. So for now, I'm gonna put everything together. I already showed you guys how I routed everything. Everything's plumbed in pretty good. And yeah, so when I pick the camera up next time, it'll be after I make this long drive and see what the miles per gallon is at, probably on the way home actually. But not only that, this could be my fault, because I cut a really weird hole for this thing because I did not have the 3 3/4 that I needed, so I had to cut it out with a razor blade after I did a 3.5 inch hole. So could be my fault in terms of this, but it is leaking right there, and I don't have a Allen to do the correct foot poundage, so there's a few things that I want to check, but it is leaking there. I mean, it's not dripping out like horribly, so it's not the end of the world, but it's definitely something to be noted. It is definitely a difficult thing to do when you don't have the 3 3/4 hole saw bit, so definitely go buy that. I'm probably gonna have to swap my fuel tank if it ends up keeps leaking, but it's really not the end of the world. So yep, time to clean everything up, put everything away, and I'll pick this up as soon as I find out the miles per gallon and how I feel about the Fass system. Just wanted to put it in here actually before I get to my end conclusion. The throttle response, much nicer. So much nicer the throttle response is on this thing, so that's definitely a huge benefit as well. And at the moment we're sitting at 17.2 miles per gallon, so we just started the journey though, so yeah, not bad. Definitely enjoying it. My Edge CT3S3 is going absolutely insane because the truck's off, but we ended the trip at 18.3 miles per gallon, and I did not lightly gas it. I was not out of it. Hold on, let me. Jeez, that thing is so annoying. But that was with 3 races, 3 rolling races, full throttle, for like probably an eighth to a quarter of a mile. So yeah, no, the Fass system definitely makes a huge difference, because before this video we were sitting at like 12.5 to 13 miles per gallon, and now after racing, being in the throttle a lot, because I was driving around making some clips with my buddies, we're at 18.3. So if I was driving it around like daily, like, you know, just taking care of it, I think we'd probably be in the 20s. So no, I'm thoroughly impressed with that. But with that being said, this is going to be the end of the video, because I've been recording this for way too long. But if you guys want to see any of the media we covered today, Instagram, TikTok, that's where I'm going to be at, the Don.87. You guys have a great one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.